injunctive relief, but was toward declaratory relief. And what was agreed upon was that there was mold. There was two questions asked by the court as we were going into trial. Was there mold in the schools, and is mold harmful to students?
Summerfleck adding that with only those two questions remaining, both sides were able to come to a resolution. Dr. Swanson sharing this in response.
We also understand that mold is not healthy. We know that. Since that time, we've cleaned all of our facilities up, both of those plus all the rest of them. At the same time, we're in the tropics. We have another big storm. We're going to be fighting off mold again, and that's something that we see all over the island, that we all have to do that. So we're going to continue to work on that.
Meanwhile, Summerfleck notes this marks the first time a lawsuit has been filed under the Adequate Education Act and hopes the outcome sends a message.
I think it shows to them that they do have exposure. It shows to the Department of Education and hopefully to everyone out there that there are certain obligations in education. I look at the case of success right from the get-go. You know, right when we started suing and talking about the 14 points of the Adequate Education Act, it certainly raised awareness amongst the board and everyone else that you need to start following laws.
Summerfleck also raising another point, the issue of broken elevators in schools, saying don't wait to be sued to fix the problem. The Guam Memorial Hospital is in dire need of critical IT infrastructure upgrades to include a new electronic health record system that could cost millions of dollars. This comes after recent communications and record system disruptions and separately cybersecurity breaches throughout the years. Mitsuki Hirayama has the details. The Guam Memorial Hospital's phones and electronic health record system is back online after it was disrupted from power fluctuations last week. The July 28th incident and following glitches over the weekend impacted billing and patient data access. Hospital Administrator Lillian Perez-Posada says adapting has been a challenge.
Patient registration and the billing system was impacted, and so we had to do again manual registering of the patients' names, where they're at, what room they're in, what kind of orders that the doctors want, what kind of medications that the doctors want these patients to receive. So all of that was being done manually.
When a hospital's EHR system is down, it leaves hospital staff unable to access critical patient information and can significantly hinder patient care. The public hospital's IT team has rolled out a cyber breach, but GMH needs to harden its IT infrastructure and upgrade multiple packages of software to include purchasing a new EHR system.
There's no indication that there were data breaches or any external, attacks. It was really just our internal infrastructure, our equipment, and the power sources. We are loaded with patient information, vital, critical patient information. And so, yes, across the nation, hospitals have been, a targeted source for all that information. And so it is our responsibility to make sure that we protect, the patient health information and even employees' information, their social security and all other vital information that, are in our system.
The current system, CareView, was recently implemented in late 2022 for $5 million, but later discovered to be unfit for a critical care hospital. GMH IT Administrator Manny Gabriel breaks it down further.
For example, the EHR, which is CareView, is only 3 years old if you think about it, but it interfaces with systems that are over 20 years old. And if the system is 20 years old, that means the software and the hardware is over 20 years old. And we have been able to get by basically with duct tape and Band-Aids for a while now, but it's not sustainable.
The much-needed upgrades are part of a risk management plan that GMH has to implement after being hit by cybersecurity threats in the last handful of years. One in March 2023 forced GMH to temporarily shut down their network, prompting the FBI and Homeland Security to get involved. As reported, 2 former employees accessed the hospital's network without permission from the U.S. mainland. That incident, along with a separate ransomware attack in January of 2019, led to a $25,000 $5,000 fine from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services for potential HIPAA violations and for GMH to come up with that risk management plan.
It's a 5-year implementation plan that's going to cost us about maybe $6 million a year. So definitely budget is critical for us to get. And I'm defending our budget with the legislature.
It should be noted a failing EHR system could also impact accreditation with the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services and could result in funding loss.
We don't want to lose the benefits, the reimbursement, and plus we want to make sure that we adhere and we comply to the standards of care that our team are giving the best and the most quality and safe care that they can, given the resources that we have, and that's really what the team spirit is within this hospital.
So far, as a contingency plan against future power fluctuations, GMH has procured 2 batteries as a power source, costing $59,000 each, which are still on their way to Guam by ship from Australia. Meantime, the hospital is to put out an RFP for a new record system, which could cost up to $60 million. Tsuki Hirayama, KUAM News. In the high-profile murder case against Nicholas Wayne Moore, Superior Court Judge Maria T. Senzon has granted the defense's motion to compel a key out-of-state witness. The ruling allows Moore's legal team to pursue a material witness warrant for Eric Benjamin Salone, a man they say fired the same .45 caliber weapon allegedly used in the murder of Michael Castro. Moore is accused of killing 27-year-old Castro, whose body was found in a container at a Jigo ranch a year after his disappearance in 2020. Salone, a co-defendant in a separate drive-by shooting case involving Moore, is expected to provide critical testimony about the firearm linked to the murder. While prosecutors did not oppose Salone's appearance, they objected to delaying the trial by 45 days. The court has not yet ruled on the trial delayed, but jury selection is still slated to begin on August 11th, with the trial expected to stretch into September. A corrections officer is under arrest accused of assaulting a police officer while off duty. It happened outside a Tamuning nightclub in the early hours of August 3rd. Police responded to a report of an unconscious man later identified as an off-duty officer, bleeding from the head and visibly injured. Witnesses told police the officer had been punched in the face and knocked out as he exited the club. The alleged assailant, identified as Felix Malcolm Kinatsa Sanchez, a corrections officer too, was reportedly seen wearing a shirt labeled Corrections the night of the incident. The victim declined further medical treatment, but later contacted police to pursue charges, stating Sanchez had called him after the attack. According to the magistrate's complaint, Sanchez initially denied being involved, but later admitted to punching the officer, telling the police he was trying to subdue him and that you guys can't let big guys get the first punch on you. Sanchez also deleted call logs and chat history before giving a statement, though claimed it was unrelated to the case. And he was arrested and charged with aggravated assault as a third-degree felony and destroying evidence as a misdemeanor. The Department of Corrections confirms Sanchez has been placed on administrative leave pending the outcome of both the criminal and internal investigations. Time for a quick break. You're watching KUAM.
Win one championship, you're celebrated. Win twice, they call you a hero. 3 times, they say words like legend and dynasty. 4, 5, 6 titles, they'll say enough is enough. But when you've won it all 7 times, what's left to say? The trophy speaks for itself. Introducing the full lineup of Ram trucks. Ram, 7-time winner of Motor Trend's Truck of the Year.
This crispy chicken is from a taco place.
This crispy chicken is from a taco place? Hey, this crispy chicken's from Taco Bell? The taco place? This chicken is so perfectly crispy with tortilla chip coating. It's from a taco place. Surprise! What? It comes in a burrito, too?
From your taco place, it's also a chicken place that's also a taco place.
Anything
Anything's possible.
College is possible. Retirement is possible. Adventure is possible. And so is saving for it all with our Bank Ohana Savings Special. Earn an interest rate of 3.55% for the first 90 days when you deposit $25,000 from another bank into a Bank Ohana Bonus Rate Savings Plus account. Requires a Bank Ohana checking account with an opening deposit of $500. So make your savings goals possible.
Anything's possible.
Reach your possible with Bank of Hawaii.
Welcome back to Primetime. Well, the push for renewable energy on Guam just got a major boost. The Consolidated Commission on Utilities has given the Guam Power Authority the green light to pursue a deal that could bring an additional 18.4 megawatts of solar power to the island. If approved by the Public Utilities Commission, GPA will contract the Pacific Energy Corps and Landscape Management Systems Consortium to build 4 small-scale solar farms in Tamuning, Malolo, Jotnya, and Barragata, adding to the utility's long-term goal of 330 megawatts of solar generation by 2029. But while commissioners approved the move without opposition, questions remain about the consortium's ability to deliver. GPA General Manager John Beneventi defended the selection process and pointed to a $2.9 million performance bond as a safeguard. The deal is expected to cost GPA $5 million a year, with energy priced at 17.9 cents per kilowatt hour. Well, Rear Admiral Brett Midas has been on Guam for several weeks now after assuming command of Joint Region Marianas. He shares his insight with Jason Salas on his impressions of Guam, the current geopolitical climate, partnering with GovGuam, and keeping residents informed, and how he's embraced his new island home.
Since your arrival, like a couple months ago, Admiral, what are some of your impressions about Guam as a military installation with national security and, you know, just like lifestyle now that you're an islander?
No, it's been a really whirlwind experience since I've gotten here. Before I came here, I had a number of friends that once they found out that I was coming, they're like, "You're going to love it." And I'm like, "Well, why?" They said, "Because of the people." And so it's been really neat that no matter if I'm wearing my Admiral clothes or if I'm just out in town, just the warmthness and the generosity of the people has been one of those things that's really made things special for the first 2 months. But the other thing that's been interesting is, you know, as you said, Guam being such an epicenter of importance right now in terms of world and strategic politics, just the number of senior leaders that we've had visit from DC has been more than I expected. And so the last couple of months have been spent with a number of different people coming to DC, and with me quickly becoming the expert on how to explain all things Guam and work them around the island.
Now, even though JRM has such a strong leadership core and, you know, like, and transitions are seamless and everything like that, you still have to introduce yourself, you know, get to know your leadership team and everything. So how has that been, you know, meeting people in the military as well as, you know, private sector leaders and leaders in the local government?
Yeah, it's been great. One of the things that someone also again told me that I've experienced firsthand is at JRM that there's a sense of mission and a sense of purpose and a sense of unity there that's not always the case when you work your way around the Navy. And we just had an award ceremony on Friday, and the amount of energy in the room as everyone was getting excited for folks that were getting awards for years of service, it was just really heartening for me to be able to see that amount of enthusiasm and passion. So to be able to come in as a commander and have that be the command has been great. The other thing is that there's been a lot of turnover. And so like myself, Dan Cooley up at the Air Force, and a number of different senior leaders have turned over. So it's a bunch of folks with fresh perspectives, fresh energy. And so to be able to build that teamwork and camaraderie has been what we've been working on the last couple of weeks.
How long does it really take until, you know, I mean, because, you know, folks in the military, you work on protocol,
yeah.
but still you have to know and rely and be familiar with the men and women with whom you exchange ideas and, you know, give commands and, you know, ultimately, you know, execute your plans and everything. So how long does it really take until like everybody's like all on the same page and like we're ready to rock?
Yeah, I think it's sometimes person and relationship dependent. And so you have some folks where you can immediately create a sense of trust and connection, and it's easy. Other folks, sometimes there's a little bit of, you know, it just takes a little bit of a while, and you have to prove your willingness to work together. And really it's about humility and being humble and us all working together. So for some folks, it's quick. For some folks, it takes a couple of meetings, but it's one of those things that the best way for us to be able to do what the nation needs and what the people of Guam need is for everybody to be able to work together. And so far, everyone's united in purpose.
How much FaceTime have you had with our governor?
Oh gosh, I met the governor before I took over, and I see her all the time. And so she's a delightful lady and smart and enthusiastic. And I always enjoy every session that I have with her. So whether it be at a local event or just about a week or so ago, we had active Cybercom in town, and he wanted to have a session with the governor. So we had a chance to go over in her office and talk about all things cyber defense.
And with her deep experience and, you know, like her family is so beloved on the island and everything, did she give you like a sense of Guam's, like, not just from a strategic or historical perspective, but how tightly knit we are with the military and how much reverence we have for those who wear the uniform?
It was manifest in our first session and every time we engage. And so we have a chance to go back and forth. It's one of the more surreal things about my job right now is, texting back and forth to the governor and working with her to understand what questions she has about what's happening and what information we have so that she can best spread that information in a truthful way with the people.
These are very, very tense times, obviously. Yeah. Geopolitically, things are starting to ramp up depending on, how you look at it and everything. What are those conversations that you're having that you can talk about, like locally, abroad in this? What would you say to the civilian population about the stability of Guam right now, and what our friends in uniform are doing to make sure that maintains?
No, it's an important question, and it's an important role for us. And I think one of the things we were chatting before we started here about the Navy's 250th anniversary. And so one of the things that's helpful for me is that anytime I get too drilled in on what's happening in the moment, I look back and say our history of our country, we've been through a lot of interesting and challenging times. And so what we're going through now and where we are in terms of the global politics and strategic politics, there have been other times that have been equally, if not more challenging. So there's a little bit of context there that's helpful, I think, because of the longstanding relationship. But then I think the other thing that's important is just realizing that America, the Department of Defense, recognizes the strategic importance of Guam, and things like Guam Defense System are just an actual tangible representation of that, where we're bringing the very best capabilities that we have to be able to defend U.S. territory, to be able to defend Guam. And so the commitment of who we are remains resolute in how we act and how we lead and how we build things on Guam.
Yeah, some civilians are like, I'm concerned about the way things are. If things go down and everything like that, I just want to know that we're safe and everything.
Yeah.
But certainly, that's a very valid concern.
Yeah, without a doubt. And there's two ways you can handle that. You can either not defend and just keep things kind of status quo, or go all in on defending. And what you're seeing, what we just recently announced with the Guam Defense System and the EIS getting released to the public, it shows the resolute, steadfast commitment we have to defending this land.
Well, it takes 4 weeks to determine a winner, but the finals of American Ninja Warrior get underway tonight on TV8 at 7 p.m.
And he's gonna do it! So far this season, the athletes have been battling the course. And the clock on American Ninja Warrior. Go hard or go home. But as the finals get underway tonight, here we go! Another element is thrown into the equation.
We kind of saw this year a chance to try something new. And so that's why the finals are all racing.
60 ninjas separated into 15 groups for round-robin racing.
The stakes are just so high. The energy is electric.
The matchups give the ninjas even more to think about. Anything can happen. Complete shock.
Not only are you fast enough and strong enough to beat the course, but are you fast enough and stronger than the opponent that's right beside you on an identical course?
Matt, these guys are highly competitive. Wow.
You'll get a chance to see these ninjas doing some incredible things while racing.
Also incredible.
And Max has got to be feeling the pressure.
Some of these ninjas were infants when the show began.
We were kind of worried, like, oh my God, are the young ninjas going to dominate? Without spoiling anything, I will say some of our old school ninjas showed up big time. The women showed up big time.
Efforts in pursuit of the show's $250,000 prize.
We just couldn't believe the races and the matchups we got and the results. You never knew how a race was going to end.
Ninja fans expect no less. Mark Barker, NBC Entertainment.
Now for a look at your world at home. Here's a view of the cathedral in Hagåtña.
Go left. Better? Go right. How about now? Still nothing. Uh-oh.
Tired of unreliable satellite internet? Switch to GTA Air Fiber. Faster and more affordable than Starlink. Get blazing speeds up to 500 Mbps for just $70 a month with no equipment to buy, free professional installation, and Plume Home Pass Wi-Fi included. Built for Guam, backed by award-winning local support. GTA Air Fiber. Ditch the dish and make the switch.
Get set to ace the school year with Kmart's A+ deals for every grade. Crush the classroom with unbeatable deals on school supplies, plus tasty snacks and drinks that are perfect for packing lunches and powering through the school day. College bound? Get campus ready with dorm essentials like bedding, organizers, and cool touches to make it yours. Teachers score everyday discounts on classroom essentials to spark every student's success. Move to head of the class only at Kmart. Kmart, back to school, back to cool.
At Mount Carmel School, we're building confidence, discipline, strength, one child at a time. MCS offers MMA for kids, guided by world champion Brandon Vera in a safe, fun, and empowering environment. Enroll today and let your child discover the warrior within.
This is our 6th week. It's our last week for the summer. So for this week we counted 26, which is our largest number so far. I think our average was around like in the teens, like higher teens, so things like 15. So for the smaller kids, we're definitely working on a lot more like motor skills. We're doing like spatial awareness on the court, a lot of hand-eye coordination as well. We're doing a lot of like send and receive things. So like we play a lot of games where the kids watch things go away from them and then come back. So that could be like we're throwing the ball to them and they're catching it in a cone, things like that. And then for the bigger kids, we're definitely focusing a little bit more on tennis. So they're rallying a lot, hitting a lot of balls. We try to avoid things like drills, things where kids have to wait in line, just because it's a little bit boring and it's not the point of this summer camp. I came here in 8th grade, so that was like 2019. I started getting pretty serious with tennis around like 2020, and so I would say I grew up like playing tennis, and it's one of like my fondest memories here in Guam. And so I've always really enjoyed coaching like smaller kids or even a little bit older, because I know like I had so much fun and I think about it a lot, and so I just want them to have fun and then like be able to think about it when they grow up like that.
Go on a journey to discover true health and wellness. At the Medical City, we bring you expert care, cutting-edge treatments, and personalized wellness programs. From wellness checkups to relaxation retreats, nurture your well-being in a place of healing. Explore the Philippines. Experience the Medical City.
Sometimes parenting can be hard. What should I be doing? The Guam Early Learning Council includes partners who can provide you with early childhood services and supports. We are here to assist. For resources and information, simply call 311 Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., excluding holidays. Early connection can change everything.
Okay, everybody, if week 2 is anything like week 1 of the Tumon Night Market, you have to be down there because Guam's tourism epicenter is the place to be 5 to 9 Sunday. Make sure to get there early, make sure to bring some money, but you're going to save a lot of money and you're going to have the time of your life. Check out everybody's social media. It was all over Instagram. Everybody had the time of their lives and it is ongoing and it is super, super awesome. Can't wait to see what we have this week. All right, the Sablan family reunion is happening. This is one of the most talented families on Guam, and they're really, really good people too, and they are all getting together for the family reunion. I love family reunions. Now check this out. Polly Suba, who's a Sablan of course, is going to be the MC, good guy. Johnny Sablan, a local music legend. Matua Sablan, you guys know Matua, he's amazing in his own right. I used to play with Joylene Sablan in church. Amazing family. There's so many people partaking in this. It's going to be absolutely amazing. This is August 9th starting at 10 in the morning. It's an all-day event down at the plaza. And it is tea time, so make sure to help our friends at the Guam Football Association because they are celebrating their 50-year anniversary, the golden anniversary of the beautiful game, Soccer on Guam. And they're having, of all things, a golf tournament. So make sure to go down there, check them out because register for their golf tournament. This is happening at the Leo Palace on the 29th. You are going to see Guam's best footballers. Soccer, however you decide to call it. I'm not getting in the middle of that, but they are going to have an amazing tournament. Soccer and golf, it's a beautiful thing for the beautiful game. Happy birthday number 6 to Zion Vincent Pakaigui, and to our handsome sunshine, L. Little VJ. 6 years of God's blessings of light, laughter, and love. You truly have a heart so pure, sent from up above. Your smile warms our hearts, your laughter and joy fills the air, and though Daddy's not here, his love is everywhere. Your shout-out says he watches you with pride in his eyes when his gentle place high up in the sky. So blow out your candles, wish big and bold. You truly carry on poetry. You will forever be our sunshine, forever our joy, and forever our sweet and brave little boy. And your family says they love you. Great, great shout out, you guys. Great job. Carly Champacuños, happy birthday, mommy, from Daddy Connor and Cairo. Nice. Ladine Ariola, may I make a special birthday shout out to my beautiful, lovely wife? Absolutely. And this very proud spouse says she turned 38 on August 5th. Love hubby and kiddos. And happy birthday, Mr. Peter Duenas. May all your birthday wishes come true. Please enjoy your special day from your family and friends near and far. Want to wish your special someone a happy birthday? Just click the QR code here on your screen or email birthdayclub@KUAM.com. Giving Every Tuesday is brought to you by Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Okay, Dave, we are so happy to be working with you once again because, you know, we all care about giving kids all the opportunities that they can. So that one day they'll be running KUAM, they'll be running Raising Cane's and everything.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah, and it's part of Raising Cane's to really like be a very strong partner in the community, right?
Absolutely. That's one of our commitments to the community is we want to be involved as much as possible. And today we're doing that by having a back-to-school fundraiser and drive for school supplies.
And several members of your staff are very proudly from the public education system too, right?
Absolutely. All of my staff is here from Guam. I'm the only one that's not from Guam. But so
you've been here long enough, man. You love
yeah.
You love Guam food.
Oh yeah. And a lot of my crew members actually have children of their own, so they like to give back as well. They provide bookmarks and achievement awards to the classrooms. But yeah, it's one of the many ways we give back to the community.
Okay, and you know, people have incorporated Raising Cane, speaking of local food, into like their fiesta plates now. So you guys have really become a part of our culture as well.
Absolutely. I think people have come to love our tailgate platters. They start at 25 fingers and they go up and count by 25. But it's actually a really great way to grab some protein and then take it home. And I'm sure there's red rice and all the Guam sides that we don't have.
Now, I ask you this every single year, right? Can you please tell me what's inside the sauce? 3rd year in a row, I'm hoping this is it.
A lot of Cane's love, a lot of care, and a lot of one love model.
Good answer. Yeah. It's a secret. It's a secret for good reason, but it's still awesome. Okay. Okay, and now it's not only like the donations of the supplies that we're helping out with and everything like that, but you guys are also making a very generous contribution to the public school system as well.
Absolutely. For today, from 12 to 2 p.m., we were ringing up our transactions as fundraisers. So 15% of every transaction will be going to the fundraiser for back to school.
Well, you're a very strong partner of ours, and you know, I know a lot of kids actually come here after school too. So I mean, this is a great way to get some protein, fuel up in there as well.
Absolutely. We love seeing the children after school for field trips. We're looking forward to that. That's probably our favorite part of the morning rush is those field trips coming in.
And this is a fantastic way to get the school year started right. So Dave, thank you once again.
All right, thank you.
Giving Every Tuesday is brought to you by Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
And that's your primetime show. Thanks for watching. I'm Destiny Cruz-Lingus. Have a safe evening.
Health, Home, and Lifestyle is brought to you by The Medical City, your trusted partner in health.
House to Home, presented by RE/MAX Diamond Realty.
Half a day, everybody. Welcome back. I don't know if we're going to be able to top last week's episode, to be completely honest with you, because Liz was on the road in Alaska, like fresh from, catching some amazing salmon in a stream there and actually passing by a moose. I know a lot of you have talked about that. That was in real time, by the way. And Gina was over in Namo Falls. I'm glad to see both of them are dry and on terra firma here. So, but Liz, where are you today? Because you're still off island.
Oh, I'm in Portland, Oregon. I'm heading home in a few days.
That's a restaurant, I'm assuming, right? That's beautiful.
Yes, it's the Nines. Yes, we just had Peter's birthday dinner.
That's right. It is Chef Peter Duenas' birthday today. So happy birthday and blessings to you, Chef Pete.
I'll let him know.
He's only 35, Jason.
There you go.
I want to tell you
as we all are. And
Yep.
so we all are.
okay, real quick though, Gina, what feedback have you gotten off of those waterfalls that provided such a wonderful backdrop for you last week?
You know, if I'm getting feedback on Instagram or on Facebook, I have to admit I'm really bad about checking those things. So let me just apologize to everybody who has made comments. I'm bad about it. The only time I go in there is when somebody calls me to say, "Hey, I messaged you and you haven't responded." Oh shoot, let me go look.
There you go. Well, I'll manage your social media too. I'll take over.
Thank you.
There you go. Okay, but as for the current moment and a very, very serious topic now, we try and shift into serious business mode, everything. Gina, you actually shared a rather intriguing PDF with our little group chat between the three of us about a piece of proposed legislation that freshman Senator Shelley Calvo put out relative to wills and how property will be transferred upon the untimely passing of a loved one. Hello, we still got you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I don't see you at all. So, oh, there you are. Okay. So this is Public Law 3813, and it actually is better than what the will puts in place, because this is the transfer, TOD, transfer on death deed that she introduced. She talked about this a little bit. And the reason this is important, and I know if you pull up a copy of this, it's been signed into law. So you can go to the legislature website and you can download it, or you could reach out to Jason. He could send it to you, or you can even reach out to us and we'll send it to you. But this specifically, the purpose of this bill, Jason, is to bypass probate. If you have a will, you still have to go through probate, and the judge has to enforce and implement the terms of your will. But this is to bypass all that. This is for the family member who already knows what they want to do with their property, and they actually want to prepare this deed so that that property will automatically transfer to your loved one. Or
I don't think people really realize or put enough value in how substantial this is, Liz, for our community where, as we've talked about, because of we're such a tight-knit family community anyway. But then the converse of that is then when, property disputes happen between family members, it's 9,000 different types of drama and everything. So this is really going to solve a lot of problems, I would assume.
Yes, it does. Because if, let's say, if John and I were looking at it, then we can decide that a certain child would get this property. We prepare the deed, and it bypasses probate. It makes it simpler. Normally, when you go to probate, you have to hire an attorney. It's a process, and you have to pay the attorney. And then even through the process, there are court fees involved. And a percentage, of course, the value of the property, a percentage goes to the attorney. And there's a percentage that goes to an administrator. So there are costs involved with the probate process. Now, this bill allows an individual who's receiving the property to just take it without having to go through the cost involved with the probate. So it's a very good bill. The other factor is if I were to give you property, Jason, and let's say I put it in writing, and before my death, I changed it and I gave it to Gina instead, I have the ability to change my mind through that process for deeding the property. But at my death, the property will go to you, or if I change my mind, I could deed it back to Gina, and then it'll go to Gina upon my death. So it is, the thought behind it was very good. It just saves individuals the cost of an attorney, the cost of the court fees, all of that. It makes it so simple.
Gina, do you happen to know, are the number of probate cases that show up in our court system significantly higher than similar sized markets or even bigger markets like in the States, like New Orleans? I know you guys do a lot of stuff in Louisiana.
I don't know. We don't track that at all, but I can tell you that I have a lot of probate. I have a lot of families that I help that are going through the probate process.
I know a lot of people have told me it's way higher here, but that's just, hearsay.
I don't know. I don't have a means of being able to compare different areas to give you that information. But what we're trying to promote is the idea that you bypass all that. You're not gonna eliminate all the fees, but by utilizing this mechanism, you're going to eliminate a substantial amount, and not just the fees, time. I'm working with a gentleman, a young man who his mom passed away, his dad passed away, and I'm helping him. I'm not even selling the property. I'm just helping him with his probate. And we're on our 5th year.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, it isn't just money, although that, this bill helps with saving you a lot of money. It's also the time that goes into all of this.
I was going to say, that there is that very cliche saying, especially when it comes to the passing of a loved one, and we've all experienced that in a very direct way. But that saying is, time heals all wounds. When it comes to probate, the longer it gets stretched out, it actually just exacerbates the problem.
It absolutely does. I have one family that I'm helping. While we are in probate, 2 of their family members, we got approval to do the sale. And while we were waiting for that approval, 2 other family members passed away. So by the time we got that approval, 2 of the family members that were part of that estate have passed. Now we have to go back and open probate for them so that we can move forward. And I think we're into our 8th month of waiting for that process. So it's a never-ending cycle. It's terrible. And I think if for those of you out there who are trying to plan ahead, get a copy of this bill, read through it, and then go sit down with your attorney to see how they could help you. You're still going to save a lot of money, and time as well.
Honey, do you want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
Welcome to McDonald's. Can I take your order?
Yeah. What's the snack wrap?
Boom. Back when we wore velour from the top of the head to the tip of the toe, the snack wrap was no joke. Takes me back. What you know about that juicy chicken? That shredded cheese. Come close. Ranch. I did everything to bring it back, nephew. Talk to me.
Educate.
Get him.
Okay, yeah, say less, Let me do the snack wrap.
Yeah, let him do the snack wrap.
Can I get both, please?
Double him up.
Yeah, so everybody watching right now, jump on your web browser and hit guamlegislature.com, and the bill is bill number 23, again by freshman Senator Shelley Calvo. Liz,
Hey, Jason, it's actually Public Law 38-13.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, if you want to read it as passed, yeah.
Yeah, it's already passed.
Gina and I, of course, our role is to provide the information, but it's always good to talk to your attorney. Get good advice from your attorney. They handle the legal aspects, but, talk to them and say, hey, how does this bill affect my estate and what can I do with it? But we do recommend they read it and then talk to your attorney and at least see how this would affect yours. Because many of us have trusts. And now that this bill has come into play, it may affect what we do with our trusts as well. In terms of how we deed properties to our family members to make it easier.
Yeah,
I was going to say, who's probably in favor of this too, just based on the amount of work it's going to take off their plate are the judges. Like, I'm guessing, right? Because they do things by the book. I mean, they're very, very good at what they do. All of our judges are, and they want to see justice be done. But of course, if you can take off some of their workload, that just helps them. And if the probate caseload is as substantial as it is, just because these things have not been documented, that's going to help the entire system.
Yeah, Gina and I handle a lot of probate cases where family want to sell their property, and then there are times where it gets complicated or that there's a dispute in the family. So it would behoove individuals to really look at who do they want the property to go to, and to avoid the complication of disputes, later on after they pass.
And probate.
Yeah. Gina, that is kind of like the kind of unfortunate thing about our community, right? For many Pacific Islanders, let's be real, right? Not everybody can afford a lawyer. Not everybody can afford complicated processes to put a trust together and knows how to speak the language or has the time to go through that, right? But those very same people, a lot of those families that don't make a lot of money have a lot of land that they pass to each other.
Yeah, and here's the deal, whether you could afford to meet with an attorney or deal with these complications, they're going to come up. And they typically come up whether you could afford it or not, because you don't plan in advance. I think this public law it should inspire you to plan in advance, so that your family members don't have to deal with this. But it means you have to make decisions in advance. And I really hope and pray that this bill or this public law inspires you to do that, so that you could help your we keep talking about passing it on to your children or your heirs. You can pass property on to anybody for any reason. I mean, no one's going to question you about your reason. By then, let's face it, by the time the questions come up, I'm gone. It's done. Live with it, right? But it just, I really hope it inspires you to make decisions about your properties and decide what you're going to do with it, so that you can avoid the time and costly hurdles of going through probate.
Was the real estate community, was there any dialogue with any of the policymakers, prior to this bill becoming public law, going into it, just seeking your input, your insight?
I think our legislative committee, we did provide input. I mean, we support the intent, but at the same time, we just wanted to make sure there are no legal ramifications. And then, of course, the bill has passed, and that's why it always would help if you just consult someone to say, hey, I've read the bill, what's your feedback on it? But we were in support of the bill, but we wanted to make sure they did consult an attorney before passing the bill. So obviously they may have done something to that effect. Otherwise, they probably wouldn't have passed the bill.
Okay, let's wrap on a more positive note, right? I mean, this is a positive thing for our community. We have to say that, right? But, okay, Liz, in the great state of Oregon, right? What's on your plate tonight for dinner?
Oh, we had lamb. Peter had ribeye steak, of course, because he loves the fat on the ribeye steak.
Oh, the mantika, right?
The mantika. Of course, the Guamanians, we love mantika.
Well, we all know now it's really good for you, right?
Yes.
So Peter's eating healthy.
Yes,
There
he
you go.
definitely is.
Okay,
Hey,
how about vegetables though, Liz? We got to eat our veggies.
Oh, we had asparagus, honey.
Ooh, asparagus spears are great.
Yeah. But hey, we're bringing back lots of salmon.
Oh, there you go. Oh, okay,
Nice.
so can't wait for that. So, Liz, travel home safely. We always wish you and Uncle John and the rest of the family like a wonderful trip. And once again, a happy birthday to Chef Peter. He's a very, very good friend of our show, and he's been a good guy for a long time. The outdoor chef.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'll let.
amazing. Happy birthday to Pete.
Thank you.
Okay, and Gina, if I don't see you on Zoom, then I'll see you at the waterfalls, or I'll see you when I'm answering your direct messages on Instagram.
That's right. Okay, have fun, everybody. See
Okay,
you
bye,
soon,
everyone.
Liz.
House to Home, presented by Remax Diamond Realty.
Now, for a limited time, get our largest pizza at our lowest price. Just $9.99 for our classic New York-style pizza. It's 30% larger than our large, and at only $9.99 for carryout. Don't wait. Order now at your Island Pizza Hut.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Win one championship, you're celebrated. Win twice, they call you a hero. 3 times, they say words like legend and dynasty. 4, 5, 6 titles, they'll say enough is enough. But when you've won it all 7 times, what's left to say? The trophy speaks for itself. Introducing the full lineup of Ram trucks. Ram, 7-time winner of Motor Trend's Truck of the Year.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo Select Care.
Half a day, I'm Claire Calvo, bringing you your weekly renewal. Well, for some, this is the end of summer and the start of a brand new school year for our kids and ultimately for the entire family. With my son going into the 8th grade, I just wanted to share some health and wellness tips that have been very helpful over the years to keep us healthy and strong, especially during this season of what some might consider the flu season. As the long days of summer wrap up, students and parents are gearing up for a fresh start. But along with new classes and activities, flu season often makes its way into classrooms and homes. Today, I want to share some simple, powerful tips to keep our kids and families healthy, energized, and ready to thrive this school year. So the first tip is hand hygiene. If there is one thing that COVID pandemic proved to be incredibly helpful, it was hand hygiene. This is your superpower. Germs spread quickly in classrooms, bathrooms, playgrounds, and cafeterias. So encourage your kids to wash their hands for at least 20 seconds, especially before eating and after coughing or sneezing. If soap and water are not available, pack a small hand sanitizer in their backpack. Teaching them to avoid touching their faces also helps stop germs in their tracks. The second tip is for strong immunity. It does start with nutrition. So let's move on to nutrition. Nutrition is like armor for the immune system. So pack or purchase lunches full of colorful fruits and veggies, whole grains, and lean proteins. Vitamin and mineral-rich foods, especially vitamin C, like oranges, apples, carrots, and immune boosters like berries, nuts and seeds, trail mix, and even yogurt with probiotics. These can help the body fight off illness. Last and most definitely not least is proper hydration. Water keeps our systems running smoothly and helps flush out toxins. We should have no less than 50% of our weight in ounces. So for instance, I'm 120 pounds, so I should have at the bare minimum 60 ounces of pure water each day. Our third tip is to prioritize sleep. After summer's late nights and for some of the kids all-nighters on their devices, getting back to a school sleep schedule is crucial. Kids need to have between 8 and 10 hours of quality rest to stay alert, focused, and healthy. Sleep strengthens the immune system because this is when our bodies can fully rest, repair, and rejuvenate. It helps improve our mood and cognitive function and our overall health. So try to establish a calming evening routine and rules. So maybe less screen time, more reading or relaxing activities, maybe even calming or healing sound frequencies, like turning on 432 or 1111 hertz, just to ease that transition. The next tip is daily movement and stress management. Physical activity not only builds strong bodies, but also reduces stress, which is proven to weaken the immune system. Encourage at least 60 minutes of daily movement, whether it's sports, group fitness, any kind of workout time, or maybe even a family jog or walk. Pair this with mindfulness practices like deep breathing, stretching, yoga, before school or maybe right after, just to keep their minds calm and resilient during the busy school days. The next tip is to recognize symptoms and staying home when needed. If they have a fever, persistent cough, or flu-like symptoms, rest really is the best medicine. Sending a sick child to school can also spread illnesses quickly. In this day and age of electronics and online everything, schoolwork and homework can still get done and turned in accordingly. Heading back to school should be exciting, not stressful. With clean hands, strong nutrition, good sleep, daily movement, and smart sick day choices, we can all help classrooms and our own homes stay healthy this flu season. Here's to a safe, strong, and successful school year. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you next time on your Weekly Renewal.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo Select Care.
Anything's possible.
College is possible. Retirement is possible. Adventure is possible. And so is saving for it all with our Bank Ohana Savings Special. Earn an interest rate of 3.55% for the first 90 days when you deposit $25,000 from another bank into a Bank Ohana Bonus Rate Savings Plus account. Requires a Bank Ohana checking account with an opening deposit of $500. So make your savings goals possible.
Anything's possible.
Reach your possible with Bank of Hawaii.
Health Check is brought to you locally by Island Cancer Center.
Amy Suh is blessed with natural abilities of being ambitious, compassionate, and empathetic. And she also really enjoys learning and being in school. These are gifts that have propelled her to medical school at Stanford, and she's chosen ophthalmology as her specialization, with ultimate dreams of returning home to Guam to practice. Fittingly, with August being National Eye Exam Month, we sat with a future physician about her vision for the future and how she wants to help you see better.
So you've known from a very young age that you wanted to pursue the endeavor, and you know, anybody who becomes a doctor isn't just like, I'll do this for a few years and then, you know, like I'll run a store afterwards. You become a doctor, that's a lifelong pursuit, and you've known about this, that you wanted to save lives and fight disease.
Yeah, I think since a very young age, when we would write, you know, occupation, like your dream occupation, I would always write a doctor. I didn't know that I wanted to be an ophthalmologist specifically, and I think my undergrad and grad experiences really solidified my passion to become an ophthalmologist. And also, I interned with Dr. Peter Lombard during COVID while I was back on island.
He's a great person to learn from.
Yes,
yeah.
yes. And he would tell me stories about, you know, the missions that he does for Saipan, for example, and that really inspired me to come back to the island. And I think he's one of the few doctors who did come back to the island, and he's serving so many people and on island. So he is truly an inspiration and a great mentor to work with.
Mm-hmm. Now, in your specialization, what about the eyes is so intriguing to you, or is a big professional challenge to you, or just that you want to make big breakthroughs and everything? Because, you know, there's the brain, the heart, the spine, there's surgery and everything. There's, you know, like 1,000 different fields of study you could get into. What about the eyes, like, really draws you to it?
I think there's so many parts to it. First is I think going on medical missions, I learned that, you know, cataract, for example, is a very quick procedure, but with it, you can help, you know, like hundreds of people with one trip. And that's what I really envision. And also, I think seeing Dr. Ng, for example, from Hawaii, a retina specialist, coming back to Guam every 2 or 3 months and helping so many people also inspired me to be a doctor who may be based off in California, but really comes back to my home island to serve. And I think the part that really draws me about ophthalmology is that it's really heavily reliant on, you know, technology, and nowadays really on artificial intelligence. And I think working with biotechs and my experience at Stanford really helped me realize that ophthalmology is such a fast-paced and changing field